Hello and Assalamualaikum to all. So we are going to proceed to chapter 1.3, which is about elements. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to define what is element and able to know what is period and group of element in the periodic table. You only need to know group 1, group 2, group 13, all the way to group 18. Okay, so what is element? So elements is a substance that cannot be decomposed into simpler substance. Okay, for example here, gold. Gold is AU. You cannot decompose this one into something else. It means that you cannot decompose aurum here to become something else, oxygen. You cannot, because it is element. But gold itself, you can melt. It only change the physical form from solid to liquid. But still it is aurum. The same thing with aluminium. This is element. So element you cannot further decompose to become something else. You cannot take out the electron or proton to make it to become something else. Okay. So oxygen, the same thing. Oxygen is element, and also silver is also element. You cannot further decompose this one into a much more simpler substance. Okay, element. Each element has identical atom which are physically and chemically identical. The properties is identical. And each element has its own unique physical and chemical properties. So, for example, stannum. Stannum here is an element. So, let's look at the physical structure. So, physical state at 20 degrees Celsius, what is it? Okay, so we can see that if it is stannum, at physical state at 20 degrees Celsius, the physical state is solid. Okay, so that's what it means. So this is stannum. So this is stannum. The properties of acid base. Okay, for stannum, it will have the same thing, equal relative strength. We are going to learn more about the properties of each element here when we are going to study periodic table. Each element has its own unique chemical symbol to differentiate from each other. For example, if it is sodium, the chemical element symbol is Na. Okay, is Na. If it is magnesium, we write down Mg. Potassium, K, not P. P is phosphorus. So K, potassium is K. And calcium, Ca. Okay, so each element has its own unique chemical symbol. And it is being placed in periodic table. Okay, so let's see periodic table. So this is periodic table. So definition, what is periodic table? An arrangement of element in order of increasing proton number. Okay, the element here is arranged by increasing proton number from top to bottom and from left to right. Okay, it means that this one, the proton number is 1. Proton number is 1. And helium here is proton number 2. Okay, 1. Okay, 1. And if you have element that have 3 proton, for example, this one, lithium, so it will be put at the bottom here. So increasing number, increasing number of proton. That is how periodic table is being arranged. Okay. Okay, the horizontal row. So this is horizontal. Okay, this is horizontal. Okay, each of this is horizontal. Okay, horizontal row. Horizontal row show the elements are grouped in the same period because it have the same number of shells with electron. For example, group not group 1, period 1 here. Period 1 here means that it have one shell. Okay, one shell. Okay, helium also have one shell. Period 2 here have 2 shell. 1, 2 shell. Also the same for this one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. You also have 2 shell. Why it have 2 shell? Because it is in period 2. Okay, so this is period 2. All these are in period 2 because it have 2 shell. Period 3, it have 3 shell. 3 shell. 3 orbit. Sometimes it is also called orbit. This one should have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 because it is period 4. Okay, so that is the example. Vertical column are called group. This is vertical column. Okay, vertical column group. This is group 1, this is group 2. Okay, this is group 3 and so on. 3 all the way to group 18. This one is group 18. Okay, why is it in the same group? Because it have the same number of valence electron. Valence electron means the electron at the outermost shell. This one have valence electron 1. This one have valence electron 2, and so on. This one have 3 electron in the outermost shell. This is group 13, group 14. The calculation is a little bit different, but it shows that it is being grouped together in the same group because it have the same number of valence electron in the outermost shell, and all these are group. Okay, groups. Groups. Okay, so let's see the periodic table of element arrangement. Okay, you can see that this part, okay, group 1 here is called alkali metal. Okay, alkali metal. Okay, and this group 2 is called earth alkaline metal. Okay, and all in yellow here, this is also metal, but we call it transition metal. Okay, and the one in green is also metal. But this one, okay, it is called this one basic metal. Okay, basic metal, but still considered metal. And the one in gray here, okay, the one in gray, all these, okay, all these are semi-metal. It have a little bit of properties of metal and also a little bit of properties of non-metal. Sometimes also called metalloids. Okay, metalloid. Okay, semi-metal, semiconductor. That is much more familiar lah. For example, silicon here is made to become semiconductor. Chip, Intel, AMD all use silicon. And then non-metal. This part is non-metal. But everything else here is non-metal. But specifically, we call group 17. Group 17. This is halogen. And group 18 is called noble gas. Okay, so that is about periodic table and the name for each group. Okay, so next one, let's try to answer exercise. Okay, the question asks you, the figure above show the element arranged in A, B, C, D, and E. So how are the elements A all the way to E is arranged in the periodic table? So how A, B, C, D, E is being arranged? Okay, if you refer back to the definition, actually, elements are arranged in periodic table by increasing proton number. Okay, by increasing proton number. Which element is in the same group? Okay, group is the vertical, right? Group is the vertical. Okay, group is the vertical. So the one that is same group is B and C. So you just write down B and C. Which element in the same period? Period is horizontal. So we can see C and E, and also this one, B and D. Sorry, the line is not straight. Okay, B and D. So we can say B and D, C and E. Okay, that is because it is in the same period. Which element In group one this one group 1, and group 18 the last one here. So you write down specifically group 1 A, okay, group 18 D. Okay, so that is how you are going to answer. The exercise here is included in your notes, so you should try to finish up all the exercise that is given there. Okay, so that is for today's lesson. Okay, and we are going to study more in next videos. Okay, bye.